So, yeah, just come to sitting. Oh, by the way, if you hear some strange tweeting sounds, don't be alarmed. I've got some very nice little creatures, little birds here that tweet away. It's very sweet. So you might hear them. So that's us, yeah. So come to your comfortable seat, palms down. Is good because it's very sort of grounding, centering. You get that feeling of connecting through the hands, through those sensitive, the palms are so sensitive, so it's kind of nice to get that feeling of pressing down, and then hopefully a little uplift in the front body. Roll your shoulders back and down, ground down through your sitting bones. Close your eyes or lower your gaze. And just take this moment to connect with yourself, reconnect. Sensing your inner world, your inner life. That we can overlook when we're in our busy, active life in the outer world. Notice if there's a bit of your body that's calling your attention. And if you can sort of relax and soften that bit, that would be a good thing. So we'll take a easy breath, a deep, easy breath in through the nose. And then on the out breath, it's a slow out breath. Deep, easy in breath. Slow out breath. And now you can put, if you're sitting on something, just put it to one side. We're going to come into child pose, but it's actually a very dynamic version of child pose. So the bum back on the heels, extend through your hands, reaching away. Open your armpits, press through every hand, through every joint. You can have your head down, but make the arms really dynamic and press back through your sitting bones. So reaching in two directions, back through your tailbone, sitting bones, away through your fingers. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then we're going to tuck the toes under. We're keeping that dynamic feeling in the arms, that extended feeling. We're going to come up into downward dog. Bend one knee and take a breath in. And then bend the other knee and take a breath out. Bend one knee, take a breath in. Bend the other knee, take a breath out. And then we're just going to swing forward so the shoulders come over the wrists. And we're coming into a plank. You can bring your knees down if you want to. But what we want to feel is, one, that we're working firmly the hands, so pushing the floor away through the hands, engaging the abdominals, and a little bit of a rounding of the back here, which is not what you might normally think you do in a plank, but it's to help you feel those abdominal muscles. So really sort of contracting the front body. And then bring your knees down, come back to your active child pose. So hands, we're not flopping the arms, but they're really stretched out. Pause here to take a breath. In and out. Tuck your toes under. Come back into downward dog. So you might have found that your downward dog wasn't quite long enough to take you into plank. So if that's the case, you could walk your feet back a little. We're going to come forward into plank again. So knees down or knees lifted as you wish. A little bit of a rounding sensation in the upper back, as though you were doing a cat, a mini cat, and feel those abdominal muscles, like a rippling feeling. And squeeze your thighs inwards. They don't have to touch, but you can get the feeling of the thighs engaging. And then knees down, back to your active child pose. And up into downward dog. Let's just reconnect with the breath here. Bend the left knee, breathe in. Bend the right knee, breathe out. Left knee, breathe in. Right knee, breathe out. And then we're going to lift the right foot. I should have said, actually, in a moment, we're stepping the foot forward, and we're going to, this is where if you have a block or something, you can have it nearby to put the foot onto. But well, first of all, we'll land the foot. So we're taking the foot forward, and placing something under the foot. It's just a way of perhaps going a little deeper than you would normally. So the hands are going to come to the big toe side of the foot, and we're going to engage the inner thigh. You know how obsessed I am with inner thighs. So squeeze the arm with the knee and press back a little bit with the arm into the knee. So the foot being up this high, hopefully it's going to make it feel, you know, in some sense easier to get that knee high on the arm. But also, you can kind of see if you can go a little deeper with that, more intensifying the stretching to the hip. So you can relax the inner thigh now and just sort of pause and let the body, it takes a few moments for the, or certainly a good 30 seconds or so for the muscles to relax. So you might want to come down onto your forearm, or both forearms, if you want something stronger. And the other thing you could do is lift the back knee. These are options. So this is a little experiment. We're going to lift the heel of the front foot. We've got that knee lined up with the arm. Can you press into the arm with the knee and lift the foot? So we're coming into sort of a half crow shape on that front leg. And then you can tap the toe down and slide it back. So we come into a plank. And then slide the foot forward and hop back onto the arm. So feel free, we'll do 3 of these, so I know it is a bit tough. So feel free to bring that back knee down when you slide the foot away. So you can still do the sliding back of the foot, but with the back knee down, the left knee down. So we're doing 3 back and forward to practice your upper body strength, but core strength massively. And then we'll rest the foot back at the front of the mat when you've done 3 of those, and pause here, catch your breath. We're putting the block to the front, out the way, so just place it in front of you. We're going to just swing back into downward dog. We'll do the other side. So lift the left foot. We're stepping the foot forward. And you've got the block, hopefully place it under the left foot. The arms are on the big toe side of the foot. So first of all, we'll engage the inner thigh. So squeeze a little bit the top of the arm. And then push back with the arm. Squeeze, push, squeeze, push. So you've got a little conversation going between the arm and the leg. And then let's relax down. So relax the knee. Sorry, are you okay, Jackie? You can you see me okay? Yeah, so we're basically in a lunge, but we're just, yeah, we're gonna get a bit of mileage out of this lunge. So we're relaxing, see if we can sink a bit more deep into the hip. So now squeeze the outer arm with the knee. So we're not relaxing anymore. We're lifting the heel. We're going to see if we can hop that foot up. So remember, you've got the option of bringing the back knee down, which makes it hugely easier. So please do take that option. I know I don't want to knacker you. So either knee lifted or knee down. We're going to tap the toes down and slide them back to the back of the mat. And then slide them forward and hop the knee onto the arm. And slide it back. And slide the toe forward, hop the knee onto the arm. It's hard, by the way. I wanted to teach you this last week, and then I think I forgot, or something happened and it didn't come up. So we're going to just step the foot forward and have a little pause and rest. And then swing back into downward dog when you're ready. If you're tired, take a child pose, feel free to drop into that. We're walking our feet to the front of the mat. We're going to drop into a squat. We're going to bring our hands down. So that's a nice little opportunity to rest if you need it. Or if you want something a little bit stronger, you can hook your knees over the arms. Take weight onto the hands, maybe lift one foot or both feet. Keep breathing. So you can, this is very adaptable to, if you're needing something gentler, then just stay in the sort of stretching squat. And find your crow, half one foot or both feet. And then we're bringing the feet down. We're going to come up into Uttanasana, which is forward bend. You bend the knees. So hopefully you've got your block nearby. So we're going to take the block in the hands and we're really firmly pressing into the block with the hands. And we're going to come up to standing with very strong arms, but a little softness in the knees. So find your way all the way up to standing. Really power up those arms by grip. So we're not actually holding tight. We're not gripping with the fingers. We're pressing in. It's slightly different, so that it's not. It feels strong, but not like tense, creating tension in the shoulders. Drop the shoulders down. The shoulders will want to lift up to your ears, but you're going to move them down the body, which may mean that you have to bend the elbows a little bit. And then we're going to bend the knees, we're going to come all the way down. Bring your block down, we're sliding the right foot back. We're going to lift the left hand, we're taking a twist here. We're going to squeeze the inner thighs as a technique to help you make those legs very solid. Help you keep really stable. And also to help the hips, or keep the hips aligned, because the hips in twists tend to want to roll it to one side. So, and then you've got the option of taking a side plank here. So this front foot, you could shuffle it back and roll onto the little toe edge of the back foot of the right foot. this is working out for you, if you feel, you know, you're enjoying this, and you want to go stronger, you could bring your forefinger down, loop it around the big toe, and step the foot into the inside thigh. Just play with that. It may be that you do nothing more than just sort of lift the foot off the ground. Something to play with. And then you won't hang about because it's hard on the arms. You're going to shuffle the foot all the way back to the lunge. We're going to bring the back knee down. We're going to pick up the block again. So we've got the left foot forward, the right foot back, and the back knee down, and then coming up. So we're very firmly, quite a lot of people ask me that they will tell me that they want to strengthen their arms. So this is, I've put a lot of focus these past weeks on the legs, but you know, obviously we are strengthening our arms in the plank, but it's nice to feel really, you know, the full arm engaged, the inside arm, the outside arm, and pull the shoulders down, so not hoiking your shoulders up. Breathing. And then slowly down, placing the block down, swing back to downward dog. We're going to pick up the left foot, we're going to step it forward. And we're taking a twist, so lift the right hand. Remember, all of these poses, you've got the option of bringing the knee down if you're tired. Really do press firmly into the floor with the left hand. And feel those inner thighs engaging, so that you get a very strong sense of being stable in the hips and strong foundation. We're going to bring the hand down. We're using the block again. So pick up your block and take your time. There's no rush coming all the way up overhead with the arms. If your shoulders are tight, just bend them a little bit so that you're not straining. And can you very consciously bring the shoulders down? So you've got the uplift of the hands. So it is possible to get the full reach of the hands and the arms without the tension in the shoulders. But we tend not to have that subtlety in how we move. We tend to just use a whole load of muscles. But we can get the uplift of the arms without the uplift of the shoulders. So, but if it's feeling impossible, then just bend the elbows a bit so you're not straining too much the shoulders. And then we're going to come down. Oh, we forgot to do sorry, I'm going to make you lift up, pick up that back knee again. Forgot to do the side plank. So we're shuffling the back foot. Sorry, front foot back. And then you've got this option of staying here in the side plank. We're on the little toe edge of the back foot, the left foot. And if you want to have a go at picking up the foot, so you're looping your middle finger, you create a little loop, your middle finger, thumb. Have a go at lifting. Remember, you can, if it's really tough, you can lift the foot, but you know, just bring it right down again. Just have a go. And some of you will maybe want to bring the foot into the thigh, like a tree. Side on the tree. Brilliantly. It's really hard work. So well done. Come down. Bring both hands down. And then just swing back to downward dog. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Walk your hands back so that they are, you know, quite a bit, so we're in more of a forward bend, but the feet are wide. You might enjoy using the block here as well, actually, especially if you find that your hands aren't so easily meeting the floor. So we're keeping the right hand down. We're going to lift the left hand up. So again, we want to keep our hips quite even for this twist. I don't know about you, but if I don't think about it, if I'm sort of not really very mindful, my hips definitely will swing off to the side. So you can align your hips or keep them strongly aligned by squeezing the inner thigh. And then see if that helps you get a bit more rotation. We're going to swap hands. Rotation in the upper back, I mean, sorry. So just swap hands. Very firm downward pressure with the left hand so that the right hand can come up. And you can engage the abdominals as well. So with a twist, ideally you do want to feel like you're almost you're wringing out your guts a little bit. So yeah, it's not just about the spine, the front of the body as well. Down. So we're just going to walk the feet so they're closer together and walk the hands away. So we're back in a downward dog. So we're going to come up so that we have a wide angled forward bend. So for me, I want to turn around to see you. I don't know if this is going to work for you, how this is going to work, but I'm going to step my left foot forward so that I can turn into this wide angled forward bend. So you might need to take another leg. So obviously, so you can see me. And then let's just let the body drop down a little, drop the head, drop the weight of the head. Pausing. You can bend your knees a little bit. Soften it a little bit. And now bring your hands onto your hips and come all the way up to standing. So for the next little bit, again, it's quite useful. We're going to go to the right first. So have your block, or whatever it is you're going to use, on the right side. It's going to be helpful, I think, for this next bit. So we're turning the right toes out, the left toes in. Obviously, a lot of this depends on how long your arms are. If you have very long arms, you might not have any issue with this, but still, it's helpful sometimes to have the block. We're going to bend that right knee. And we've focused a lot on the inside thigh, but it's actually really, obviously, the whole body is important. So let's just bring a little bit of attention to the outside thigh. So you're going to bring your hand, your right hand, to the outside thigh and press into it a little bit with the thigh, outer thigh. And then you can relax that pressure and press in again. So what I find, so we're in Warrior 2, as I think you may know. So that, and what I find in Warrior 2 is the knees tend to float in a little bit because it's quite hard for the body to hold that alignment. So the knees, you'll see the knees floating in. So like a knock knee kind of shape. So when you press out into the outer thigh, that will help align your knees. So if you have a tendency to knock knee, this is the muscle group that you need to work on. And it's just generally great for you to have, all these muscles functioning. So you can kind of just a moment longer, press into that hand, and then relax. And then we'll take our warrior arms. And as you hold this position, let's just really push back into the back foot, the left foot. And although it's not essential for this to happen, but one day maybe your front thigh, your right thigh, will drop so it's parallel with the floor. So you could perhaps have a little experiment with dropping a little lower. and come out if you need to, just to push yourself a little bit here. Make sure that knee's not moving around too much. A little bit of movement's okay, but not floating in. And also notice your back hand. So the hand, this is what happens often, it drifts down. So keep the alignment. You look over the right fingertips, so your gaze over the right fingers. And we're extending through the arms, so really push back through the fingertips of the back hand and press forward with the fingertips of the front hand. And what also happens here is the torso will want to kind of fall over the front leg. So a lot of detail, isn't it? But can you sort of sit up a bit more? So this is Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. We're going to take Parshvakonasana, which is side angle. The full name actually is Utthita Parshvakonasana, which means extended side angle. So rest your arm on your knee. And then we're going to take the back arm in front of the body and find a line. So first of all, find the line from the back foot into the fingers of the raised hand. And then also think about what's going on with your head. Is your head sort of rolling off to the side? Can your head be part of that line? Can your head follow that line? It's hard work, isn't it? I'll do this. Brilliant. So bring the, let's just come down for a moment. So bring the back knee down, bring both hands down. We're going to use the block. So the block is going to be on the little toe edge. And we're going to press our right hand very firmly into the little toe edge. And we're going to come back up into Parshvakonasana. So lift the back knee if you can. And you'll feel it's, you know, quite a lot deeper in the hip. It's quite a lot more intense on that front leg. So let's just hang out here if you can bear to. I heard a lovely description of yoga asana, yoga poses, as being containers for your breath. So let's just see if we can, you know, work with that metaphor, really have a sense of filling the container with your breath from the back foot to the raised fingertips, from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Breathing, it's quite strong, isn't it? Maybe dropping a little deeper in that front thigh. Also, just notice the toes of the front foot. Can you lift them all and spread them? Because they often scrunch up, you know, and they ideally they shouldn't be. So we're going to come down. We're going to bring the hands either side of the foot. Just pause for a moment. And then we're swinging back into a three-legged dog. And we're going to take, from here, we're going to take a pigeon. So if you need to pad up under the right knee, right thigh, do that. If you need to roll a little bit more onto the right hip, you can do that. Come down, just pause. Keep breathing. We're going to come up in a moment onto the hands. So walk your hands back a little. If you're, really noticing what's going on with your shoulders here. So it's so common for the shoulders, as I was doing with you earlier, that, you know, that the shoulders reach up, lift up to the shoulders, to the ears. So can you kind of really roll them back and down? Maybe that means coming onto the fingertips for that to happen, or maybe it means coming lower on the mat. So you take your hands further forward. And then we're going to, in a moment, swing back into three-legged dog. So take the right foot up and away. And then swing it forward so the foot comes between the hands. Straighten up that front leg. We're coming into a sort of a big pyramid, a wide based pyramid. So if you need to, you can take it a little wider than you would normally, but also if you need to bring it in a bit, that's okay, Pausing here. And then we're going to shuffle our feet round under our hands and take a wide-legged forward fold. So we're turning back to the wide edge of the mat. Drop the head. Bring your hands onto your hips. Push into the little toe edge of the foot. Little bend in the arm and in the knees and come up to standing. Shuffle the feet in a little bit. Turn the toes out. We're dropping down into a goddess, or a squat, basically, a wide-legged squat. So this is another pose where the knees have, they want to move in a little bit. So we're going to strengthen those inner thighs. So take the hands to the outside of the thigh, press a little bit, and then you can relax the thigh. I mean, you don't necessarily want to be overworking your outer thigh, but you can kind of work in and out. Relax them, press away. And just remind yourselves of the inside thigh. So bring the back of the palm against the inside thigh, and you can press a little bit into the inside thigh with the hand, and then get a little conversation going between the thighs and the hands. And also, upright in the torso, can you lift up a little bit? Well done. And then let's just straighten up the legs. Turn the toes forward. Bring your hands to your heart. Have a little pause here. Listen to your heartbeat. We're going to turn to the left. So take your block to the left. Side of the mat. So we're just a mental block. We're taking a warrior. So we're turning the left toes out, right toes in. And as on the other side, we don't want that front knee to be moving around. We want our knees to be very, very stable. So press into the outer thigh, just to help you engage that outer thigh. And hopefully that's going to help you keep your knee nicely positioned over the ankle and avoid it from floating in. Press back into the toes of the back foot, the little toe edge especially. The front thigh, you can see that mine is at an angle, but you could probably, all of you, drop a little lower. I mean, you can experiment with that and come out if it feels too much. It doesn't have to be, it could just be. And then we're going to take our warrior arm. So this backhand, as I'm demonstrating, does drift down. So can you line them up? Can you feel your shoulder blades? Gently squeeze them in. Looking over the left fingers. Very powerful. I mean, it's full on this this pose. So when you fill the pose, when you really go for it. So remember that idea of the container, the breath, the container for the breath. Can you fill it? Can you fill your pose with breath? We're going to take the left arm. We're going to rest it on the knee. I mean, I am pushing you a bit here. So if you're feeling very tired and you need to sort of bring the feet in so you're not so extended, obviously you do that if you need to. So don't let this knee flop around though. Let the knee, keep the integrity of the knee, and then we're taking the angle it's Parsvakonasana, Utthita Parsvakonasana, which means extended side angle. So we really want to line a nice line from the back foot up to the hand. That usually means dropping the hips a bit more to keep that line, which means a lot of work in the front leg. So we're going to take another breath here, and then we'll come down, we'll pause. You can bring the back knee down for a moment. Get your block. Bring the block on the little toe edge, onto the little toe edge of the foot. Bring your hand there, and just when you're ready, you're going to come back up into Parsvakonasana. So this is the full pose. You have your hand usually on the outer edge of the foot. So remember, we're lining up the knee over the ankle, and keep extending through those top fingers, pressing back into the little toe edge. Like you're being really, it's very strong, and the head will want to float off. Can you keep the line with through the head? And what else to tell you? Front toes, don't let them scrunch up. Can you lift them and spread them so there's space and a sense of lightness in the front toes? One more breath here. You work that hand as well. That left hand is working, pushing the floor away, so you're not slumping into the left shoulder. And then we're going to come down. So bring the hands down either side of the foot. Pause for a moment. If you need to bring the knee down, please do. And then we're taking a three-legged dog. So swing the foot, the left foot up and away. So the knee is going to come behind, we're taking a pigeon. Knee's going to come behind your pigeon, behind the wrist. Drop down. So if your hips are tired, it's okay to roll a little bit onto that right hip. So the full pose, though, is to balance the hips, but sometimes you need to not always take the full pose. Reconnect with your breath. And we'll coming onto the hands. So that means lifting up a little bit. So, and you all know this so well, so you don't really need me to explain, but just be really mindful of what's going on with your shoulders. We do want the shoulders to roll back a little bit and down. So if you're coming up really high, but your shoulders are all lifted and scrunched up, then maybe you're better to come lower. The other thing you could do is come onto the fingertips. That gives you just a little bit more space to roll the shoulders back down. Or you could even use your block, actually. Your hands on the block. Just gives you a bit more space. So in a moment, we're going to come out. So just take your time with that. We're taking a three-legged dog again. So you can put the block to one side if you're using it. Tuck the toes under. Press down, lift up. Left foot up and away. And then stepping into pyramid. So you choose. You could go for a real big, deep, intense pyramid if you want, or a much more sedate one, get closer. And it's nice, we work the left leg quite hard there, so if you want to bend and straighten the knee, just soften it into the leg a little bit, and do that. We'll, in a moment, turn, so we're turning back to the wide edge of the mat, so turning on the toes, and the hands can come around too. And take a forward fold. And then coming up, so bring your hands onto your hips. So you can bring your feet together. And the hands can come into the heart. So you're recenter yourself. Listen to your heartbeat. Notice your breath. Allow that nice, deep, easy breath in and out. I'm going to lift the heel of the left foot. I'm going to take the weight onto the right leg so that the left foot is really very light. Let the foot float up. I'm going to take the knee. So we did all that hip stuff. So hopefully you're going to see a difference in the knee. We're taking the knee out to the side. We're holding the knee and guiding it out. It's especially if your knee's vulnerable, keep a little bit of flexion in the foot. It just stops the foot flopping around, and then if your knee's prone to sort of jarring, just better. Bring that foot into the thigh, squeeze back into the foot. If you're not so keen on having the leg that high, bring it lower on the foot lower on the leg. We're going to just take the foot and we're going to swing it over the opposite leg, drop into Garudasana, eagle pose. And feel free to do the eagle arms as well. So we've got the left leg on front, we're going to bring the left arm underneath. If you're not so stable, maybe just hands into the heart or hands out to the side. So as you wish. Slowly unfold the legs, bring the feet down, release the hands, bring them back into the heart. Recenter yourself, reconnect with your breath. And then shifting the weight into the left foot, lift the heel of the right. When you're ready, the foot can float up. Take the knee, guide it out to the side. Make a little flexion in the. There's Dancing Shiva. You probably know that sign, don't you? If you look at Dancing Shiva's feet, they seem to always be flexed. I never see his feet sort of flopping around. They always look like there's a lot of dynamism in the feet. Dancing Shiva has many legs. I can't remember how many. We're going to take the foot, maybe 6 legs. Jackie might know. And if your foot slides down, and even if it doesn't slide down, get some squeeze going between the thigh and the foot. And then we will release the foot. cross it over the leg. You can take your Garudasana. Garuda is eagle. Got the right leg on top. We bring the left arm on top, or the right arm underneath. Very good. You can see Lachlan and Jasmine are doing very good yoga there. And coming up, let's just unfold the legs first, recenter, get the release, steadiness in the lower body, and then you can release your arms. And a well-deserved, I think, seat. So come sitting. And just being really conscious of shoulders. You know, virtually everyone I see seems to suffer from some tension in the shoulders. So let's just do something that helps you think about where your shoulders are. So we'll bring our arms up to shoulder height. And then we're going to bend the arms. So I think they call this cactus arms. And we're going to just press the back of the palms. So the palms are facing forward, but we're pressing the back of the palms to the wall behind. And the elbows can move back a little bit too. And you're immediately going to feel stretch, hopefully, all around this area, breast tissue. And hopefully this is you're gonna get a sense of the shoulders moving back. And you can even squeeze your shoulder blades together to emphasize that. So the shoulders move back. And then we're going to move the shoulders down. We're using the elbows. So the elbows we're going to gently move them down, squeeze them in towards the waist. So making a double U shape. And then bring them up. And you can press the elbows together. And that will pull your shoulder blades apart. You can drop your head a little bit. And then we'll repeat that, so take the elbows wide. So everyone's going to have something slightly different going on here. So if you're finding that having the elbows this high just feels very straining for your shoulders, just bring them down a little bit. But we do want to feel the shoulders move back. So for some people, for that to happen, maybe you have to have the hands much lower and not such a, exaggerated bend in the arm. So feel the front of the shoulders move back, so you get that stretch across the tissue of the pectoralis muscles. And then we're going to move slowly, elbows in towards the waist. Feel the shoulders move down. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. Lift your elbows and then press them together. Drop them. We're going to come onto all fours. Just a bit more for the poor old shoulders. So take the right arm. We're positioning ourselves so our knees are under our hips and we're squeezing the thighs together a little bit. Press into the front of the feet as well. So what you created is a very solid foundation. Then take the right arm, weave it under the left, and try and press the whole of the arm and the shoulder to the floor. The left arm is moving away, so we're stretching. So we've got a nice long line from the hip to the left hand. And keep pressing the right hand into the arm into the floor. So turning the chest. And then to emphasize or increase that turn, slide the left hand back so it comes in line with the shoulder. And press the left hand down. Keep pressing down. So you're turning the chest. The left shoulder moves back as well. So there's a combination of pressure into the left hand, pressing down through the right hand. So there's quite a lot going on, but not much happening in the lower body. That stays, well, we're squeezing the thighs together, but the lower body is very still, very stable. And then we'll come out. So press into the left hand to come back to all fours. We'll just go the other side, so left arm. Left arm pressing down, right hand, nice line. Try and find a line from the right hand to the right hip. Turning the chest. Hips stay still. Hips very even. So the movement is upper body. Breathe into the ribs. Feel those lower ribs. And then we'll slide the right hand back to the shoulder, roughly, to the line. And press into the right hand, see if you can turn your shoulder. And also move turn the chest and move the shoulder back a little bit. Quite a lot to think about. Well done. Press into that right hand, come back to all fours. And then just lower yourself onto your belly, head down. Slide your hands back so they're in line with your ribs, your lower ribs. You don't have to lift your head to do this, but you do want to maybe have a little look back at your arms. We want a right angle ideally. Wrist under the elbow, spread the fingers. You're hugging your body with your elbows. I mean, they may not actually touch, but have that energetic intention. And then we're picking the shoulders up. So the front of the shoulder, we're lifting it up away from the floor. Head stays down. And then the elbows, press them back towards your heels and feel the shoulders move away from your ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades in. And relax everything. So we'll try that 3 times. So it's relatively subtle, but actually there is a lot of movement. I mean, obviously we're not lifting the head, so that's limiting how much movement. So feel the shoulders move back away from the floor. The reason I'm not getting you to lift your head is that the minute you have to lift your head, something else happens. I think you lose a little bit of focus on the shoulder. So that looks good, Leslie. I can see beautifully, moving beautifully there. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and then imagine that you're pressing back towards your heels with your elbows. It might move a little bit, but not much. Feel the shoulders move away from your ears. And the elbows, ideally they don't move out, so they stay tucked in for the whole thing. And relax everything. For the third version of this, you could do that with the hands, or you could interlace the hands behind you instead, and that's quite nice. Same principles, but just slightly different. So interlacing the hands, squeezing in, pressing your knuckles towards your feet. And if you want to here, lift your head, you could do that. But just don't let that mean you lose the nice feeling of loosening around the shoulder. And then you can completely flop down to the floor when you're done. Take your arms wide, so they are as wide as your shoulders. We're going to roll onto actually it doesn't matter which arm, we're going to roll onto the one arm, but you want to be able to, ideally I think you want to be able to see me because yeah, I think that would be, so roll away, roll so that you turn towards me. So we're going to, so for me it's my left arm. I'm going to take my right hand, press it so it's down around the shoulder area, palm flat. I'm going to press into that hand to roll my body onto the side. My head's down. So you're opening up the shoulder area quite intense. You're squashing that whole inside arm and top front of the shoulder. You can have your legs straight, but I quite like bending the top knee and then bringing the sole of the foot flat to the floor behind me, so that I'm kind of using that leg as well to take me, to turn my body a little. If this feels very, very intense, too strong, you'll then just bring the hand closer to your waist, the squashed arm. Just don't have it so high. So you're opening up the whole region. I call it the brachus plexus, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is a big nerve center around the top of the shoulder, which when we get very tight in our shoulders, we get things like tingly arms, loose sensation in the hands, when it's very bad. So we're kind of opening that area. We're going to go to the other side, so roll back to the floor and just rest on the floor, head down. Reconnect with your breath here. And then when you're ready, go the other way. So it's just, you'll figure it out. If you need to bring the hand down, do that. You're just rolling onto the opposite side of the body. You can bend the top knee. Bend the bottom knee if you wanted to. Keep the head down, because what part of the intention here is that you're really letting the weight of the body open the body. So by rolling onto the arm, we're opening up that whole area of the shoulder. Deep, easy breath. So in through the nose, into those lower ribs. Feel the movement of those lower ribs. Yeah. And then float or flop back to the floor. We're taking a Shavasana next, so get whatever it is you need. No rush. But yeah, when you're ready, you can just roll back onto your back. But if you need to get something more comfortable, do that. I feel like I worked you quite hard tonight. I'm not sure how you're feeling, but yeah, you're gonna, I think, have quite intense feelings around the shoulder and the hips. So, and the great thing I think about that is it's very absorbing, and then it's easy to escape all the kind of mental stuff when you're very absorbed by the body. There's a word for that.
Introception. It's different from introspection, which is more being preoccupied by thoughts. Introception is being preoccupied by the body. And the reason it's, good is because it helps you switch off from your thoughts. The strong sort of intense practice into the hips is going to be great for banishing your little nagging doubts and worries. It maybe not, obviously not permanently, but it certainly give you a little bit of a respite from the preoccupations of the mind. So we're completely relaxing here. Let the body be heavy, nothing to prove here, nothing to do. We are going to keep the focus on the breath a little longer. Just 3-part breath, so breathing into the belly, into the lower ribs, into the heart. So have a sense of the breath traveling up on the inhale and then down the body on the exhale. Focused more on the front body, but of course the breath is equally important in the back body. So next time you breathe in, sense the breath at the back of the waist, the back of the ribs, the back of the heart. And then completely letting go of the breath. Obviously, the breath will continue, but you don't have to be trying to manage it or shape it. Just noticing the breath. Relaxing the head and the torso. Allow the head and torso to be heavy. The arms and the legs. The tongue. The eyes. The jaw. Completely relaxing the weight. So, if you're feeling ready to come back to the body, you can begin to bring some small movements in. to the fingers and toes. If you're needing longer rest, then please just rest as you are. There's no rush. It's a nice time of night to be relaxing and resting. And if you're ready, you can roll onto your side. And let yourself reconnect here, reconnect to your breath, reconnect to the sense of the earth supporting you. And slowly you can come up to sitting. So we'll take a comfortable seat, sit for a little moment. You can bring your hands onto your thighs. Take wisdom mudra, thumb and forefinger together. Press a little down through the back of the hands onto the legs and see if that can help you lift up a little bit through the crown of the head, through the front of the body. Shining the light of your awareness into that point between the thumb and the forefinger. And letting everything else soften. Single point, a one-pointedness they describe in yoga, that ability to completely zoom in actually, whatever word you want to use for that. We're going to finish by bringing the hands together. We're not actually going to press them together. We're going to keep a little space between the hands, as though you were nurturing something there, something precious. Light touch of the fingertips, but keep that sense of something between the hands still. We'll press the thumb joints in towards the heart. Take a breath here, and then press them up towards your third eye, your procerus muscle, if you're thinking in terms of Western anatomy, or yin tang if in the acupuncture system, Chinese medicine, yin tang. A point for clearing the mind. Thank you very much, everybody. Very nice to see you all. Hope you're all okay. I'll see you soon. Now, I've done all my videos now. I'm happy to report, so I'll be able to send them all to you. Yeah, so I'll send them out in an email, I think, or but you can find them on YouTube as well. But I'll send them out in order. I've managed to order them and trim them, and so yeah. So hope they're helpful to you. Yeah, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Have a nice evening. Have a good rest, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.